Hi there girls, Mr. Gilmore here. Just coming at you again with one of these transformation geometry videos. It is the 12th of May, and today we're going to be looking at transformations of images under axial symmetry. So we've already been doing a little bit of axial symmetry. We know how to look at a square and go, okay, there's axial symmetry there, there. You know, kind of reflecting the image back, okay? Now, if we're trying to do constructions, make images under this axial symmetry, we need to think about things almost like they're reflections, right? So imagine you're standing in front of a mirror. In fact, if you want to do this, pause your video now, go to the mirror, and just raise your right hand. And what do you see? Well, you'll see the image of someone just like you, but they're raising their left hand, right? A similar thing's going on here. So what we're going to be doing is symmetry under, like the transformation of lines and shapes under axial symmetry. So this X, the image is going to be closer to this line than the Y. Okay? We'll get something kind of like that. Okay? But we'll get around to that in a few. Firstly, we're just going to look at the translation of an image under axial symmetry for just points, okay? So we've got these 3 points here, we've got 3 lines here. And what we do is we line up our set square with the line that we're making axial symmetry with. And we draw a simple line like so, okay? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to measure out that line, okay? So we've got about 1.9 centimeters here between the point and the line. And we're just going to extend this another about 1.9 centimeters. Okay? We can say, okay, the image of X is going to be roughly here. Okay? So we can see that this has axial symmetry, doesn't it? Now these lines, they should be fairly faint when you girls are doing it. I'm doing them a little bit stronger than normal just so that you can all see them in the videos. Okay? Let's do another one. Let's do Y here, okay? So again, we're going to do this line here. Oh, actually, that's a little bit low. I'm going to get rid of that. Place it with a better line. Perfectly fine for it to take a few attempts to get a really good line. So I'm drawing that simple line there. Measuring it out. Okay, it's about 1.3. Yeah, 1.3. So I'm going to extend it out another 1.3 to 2.6 here. Do a dot. Y comma. Again, you can see these points have axial symmetry along M, don't they? You can see, wait a second. If I was to fold this over, these two would be identical, right? Again, let's do it one more time with a point, and then we'll do it with lines. So again, we're lining up our set square, drawing a line like so, measuring it out and extending it. So that's about 1.5 centimeters. So I'm now going to extend that out another 1.5 to 3 centimeters. I've got Z, the image of Z, under the axial symmetry of N. Okay? Let's do one or two on a line, okay? Now what I've done first is I've done one line that's parallel to L to make things a little bit easier for us. So again, we're going to draw the lines between each point and the axis, and then we'll measure them out, okay? So I'm going to do one line here. Another line here. Okay, and again, lining up the set square with L, doing those perpendicular lines. So much the same, in a weird way, the axial symmetry is the perpendicular version of the translations that we were doing beforehand. And now we're going to line this up. Going to go, okay, this is going forward about 1.3 centimeters, so we're going to extend that out. Another 1.3 centimeters. Mark an X. Extend this out. Another 1.3 centimeters. Mark in Y. And then all we're doing is we're just connecting these two lines to finish, connecting these 2 points to finish off, create our image of a line. You'll notice that this is these two lines are way darker than the lines I've drawn to connect these, okay? Now, let's look at one that's starting to really get tough, okay? So far all we've been doing is images, and they've been pretty much identical either side. This one's going to be a real reflection, okay? So again, we're going to line up our set square with the line, okay? Draw a line from X to the line, okay? Again, draw another perpendicular line to M from Y to here, okay? Change it to a centimeters measurement. Okay, that's about 1.5 centimeters. So we're going to extend it further to 3. And that's going to be where X prime will be. This is about 3.1. Going to extend that line out to about 6.2. I'm going slightly off the page, but not the end of the earth. Prime, and then we're finishing off creating the construction, okay? Super important that everyone finishes off making their construction. So you can see here, and these are only guidelines, so these are actually fairly unimportant. You can see here that this line kind of flips. It's flipping between axial symmetry. In fact, if you wanted to do axial symmetry of my hand from this line here, you notice it's just my right hand, isn't it? Axial symmetry with M. Okay. Let's have a look at a shape now. Now the shapes start to get a little bit tougher, but there's nothing new to them. And again, we're going to line up, draw a simple straight line. Again, line up, draw a simple straight line. And now we're just measuring distances again, okay? So here is I'm going to say 1.6. It's actually kind of halfway between 1.6 and 1.7. Actually, no, let's go for 1.7 here. I'm going to extend that out to another 1.7, so it's going to be about 3.4. Just doubling that so that I've got a point there. Now do the same thing here, another 1.7. So that's okay if these aren't absolutely perfect, sorry. Sorry, actually, I did this one wrong. I should have done 3.4. Okay, actually, I did. And then 3.4 here. We're going to have to do it for that final point here, and you'll notice that it's going to measure out past this point. So you'll notice that it's about 3 here. So we're going to extend a little further out to 6. Do one final point, and now we're just connecting those points to create the image of this triangle. And if you're not getting these clean kind of reflections of the images, I would say there's probably a mistake done somewhere in your work. Okay, so you can see that this is a near perfect reflection. If I folded this page at L, the two triangles should line up with one another. Let's do 1 or 2 with squares here. Now this one's an interesting one because you'll notice it's on the axis of symmetry. So what's going to happen is this point is going to reflect exactly onto itself, and this point is going to reflect exactly onto itself. It's not going to move at all because it can't. What will happen is, and we're just going to make sure, yeah, these are perpendicular to the line. So what's going to happen is this point here is going to still extend out to about 2, okay? And this point here is going to still extend out about 2. And we're going to end up getting another square, okay? So you can see that is axial symmetry along L, isn't it? Like, you can fold that over. It's Same thing either side. One last one. I know these can be a little bit tedious, but sure, there's only drawing to it, so far more fun sometimes. Again, we're making perpendicular lines. Then we're going to extend these lines. So this is a measurement of about 0.6. So that's going to go out to 1.2. Do a little dot. 0.6. Go out to about, say, 1.2 here. Do a little dot. Measurement here is going to be about 1.6. So that's going to go out about 3.2. There we go. 1.6 again, so go out to about 3.2, and then we just line up those points so that we get the same graph as before. Okay, so again, it's a reflection. And you'll notice here, if I was to label each of these points, okay, so A, B, C, and D, you'll notice that this one is A prime. Well, sorry, not A prime, that one's not A prime. This one is B prime, because that's reflecting that point. A is going to reflect here. So the kind of image points are also going to invert, okay? Okay, so let's have a try at some homework there, girls. Let's do pages 380 through 382, questions 7 through 9, 11 through 14, 16 and 19 for me there. As always, if you have any problems or any questions, please feel free to contact me. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.